You guys can leverage what you're doing in your sport and your education today for where you want to be tomorrow. Today, I'm not playing football, right? I work for a tech company and I leverage my engineering background. But all the branding that I learned from what you'll see here, everything that I put together to kind of show these scouts and agents that I'm like ready to play today is what my company sees. And they're like, man, I love that entrepreneurial spirit. I love that fire. He's going to be able to do that not only for sports, but now he can do that for a business. This is what allowed me to get to where I am today.
Much Mikey, I'm telling you. So you're also rocking some Waffle House. Tell us what your story is about the Waffle House.
You know, it's the greatest restaurant. If they're looking for any NIL deals, I'm there. Basketball, I still got basketball and baseball left, so.
Okay, you're a senior, and you're at Southeastern. And obviously, then you said you play baseball and basketball?
Yeah.
What's your favorite sport?
Well, I would use play roughly. I'm on the team. Basketball is probably the most fun, but golf, I just get it to go out here and mess around, so, yeah.
What are your plans after high school as a senior?
You know, I'm going to try to get on the PGA Tour. If that doesn't work out, probably the NBA, but if that doesn't work out, I don't know, probably Clark State Community College.
What about Waffle House?
If they're hiring, I just don't know. I don't know how much they pay. I'm looking for a little bit more than minimum wage, but I'm willing to work.
You're willing to work. You pop the chain. You show what you're kind of worth.
Oh, yeah.
So how did you prepare for today?
Well, I didn't really prepare, to be honest. I played a practice round, but I'm better when I'm just, you know, under pressure. That's why they call me Clutch Mikey. Just mess around and find out.
All right, we're going to stop it right there. So have you guys been interviewed? I mean, you guys are all athletes, so just want to know, raise your hand if you've been on camera already. All right. When you got interviewed, what do you think of his tactics there? Tell us what he...
I mean, they were smart, but kind of goofy at the same time. Like, I feel like he could have done it in a little bit better way, but I mean, it got our attention at least.
Exactly. So basically what you're saying is it's a strategy, but maybe it wouldn't be yours, right? Okay. What would yours be?
Sound professional, just because I'm trying to get to the next level. Make sure coaches know I understand the game and things like that. So yeah.
Perfect. And somebody else raised their hand over here.
Yeah.
What would you say for your interpretation?
Yeah, I would have been like a little more professional than this. I probably would have been making jokes. Mostly would have been making jokes.
Perfect. Anybody here would actually take this approach? No? Okay. So, what was that? So today we're going to talk about exactly that. And right now, I pulled up one of the favorites, sports teams, coaches, athletes in the last few years that I've been watching because they do exactly this well, but they actually get scrutinized because of how much they do it, right? How they do it. You see the Instagram handles on the back of every practice jersey up at CU Boulder, right? There's a lot of tension based on what you're trying to do and where you're trying to go, but it all comes down to branding. And another piece to that is figuring out what is it that you love. So like, do you guys all love, I think you're all basketball players outside of, what was your name again? Emily? Are you guys all basketball? Okay. Do you guys all want to play basketball at the next level? Do you also want to get paid? After college or before? Both? Okay. Perfect. So then what we're going to talk about is going to resonate hopefully with you. So let me see if I can get technology to work. Hold up. Let me go. All right. Cool. All right. So today's agenda, I'll talk a little bit about who I am. Then we'll talk about what is NIL. You guys probably can educate me on it more because I didn't have it when I was in college. We'll talk about how you can build your brand. And then we'll also leave some time for some questions, hopefully. So to kind of start off with who I am, I started out playing football in Texas. As you kind of heard, my mom's from Panama, so we didn't learn what American football was. So I didn't get to play football until I was actually in middle school. Seventh grade. meaning I was a late bloomer, I was skinny, and I put my butt pad on my crotch because I didn't know where that pad was supposed to go. So just tell you, it was a lot of humble beginnings to make it short. And through that, I was able to transition and play high school football. And you're seeing some puberty hit me, so at least I'm putting on some weight, right? I'm drinking protein shakes. And everything that I did in high school from a branding and marketing point is what allowed me to get to Colorado School of Mines and actually become one of the top defensive players in the country. And it was all from how bad do I love the sport, how much do I want to show other people, the people that are going to recruit you, to give you those scholarships, those coaches that you're trying to let them know, hey, I know the game, but also academically, I am going to be able to pass every single test so that I can be on that field, right? I'm not going to be a liability. So how do you demonstrate those types of things? And you do it throughout your entire journey, showing them, hey, in middle school, I was this guy, I was competing in AAU, right? Are you guys on other teams outside of, okay. So I was doing things for track, I was doing things for wrestling, I was doing community service. I was even serving in programs to show them that I'm a character type of player, right? So Clutch Mikey is more of the humor guy, and you can notice that everybody that starts in college doesn't mean those are the only people that get NIL deals. If you have a big following and you happen to be funny, there are brands out there that will align with that, but I was more of, the underdog story, and that's what I wanted coaches to see in me, because I wanted them to give me a shot to play football. And before Mines, I was actually committed to go Ivy League to Cornell. And what happened with Cornell was everything was looking good. They were about to, give me a committed offer and everything, and then they wanted me to come up to a training camp. When I went up to that training camp, everything on paper was great, but then they saw me in person, and they wanted to try me out at 2 different positions. And when they did that, they were like, man, you're too fast as a linebacker, and you're not as big as we want you to be. But then as a DB, we think you could be great. So I went up to that training camp, and they basically had me do all these backpedaling drills. You just heard in middle school, I just learned what a butt pad was. So at that training camp, I was learning what a DB was. I was learning how to backpedal in real time. And basically they pulled my offer because of how that went. So not only do you have to understand the love of the game, the branding, the character, but you have to be a technician at your sport, and you have to be able to show that on the spot. Even the stuff that you don't think that they're going to ask you to do, you want to be ready to do that. So for whatever reason, if they say, I want to see more left-handed layups, or I want to see whatever you don't do, just be ready for coaches to test you there. So what transitioned for me to go from college to actually becoming a pro athlete was actually getting more in connection with facilities, trainers, coaches. And because I built up credibility with my name, throughout those different levels, I had coaches that would throw my name in a hat if a facility or an agent wanted to ask them, how is Emmanuel doing? How does he train? How does he run? How high can he jump? Do you think this guy could play at the next level? And you got to remember, coming from D2, Colorado School of Mines, nobody at the time was really looking for professional athletes at Mines, right? They were like, these are smart kids, they're gonna get great jobs, but it wasn't necessarily like we're gonna go look for another football player at Mines. So I had to do extra things to get visibility from agents, from training facilities, and from NFL, CFL. So I went to an NFL combine, I put up pretty good numbers. I went to a CU pro day. CU allowed us D2 players to come shine at their pro day. And all those things allowed me to build a brand of, hey, this guy's a small school player, but I think he can play at the next level. So you got to put in the work when nobody's looking, but then you also got to be able to figure out how are you going to document this, right? So right now you guys see I have a few cameras in here. That's literally what I did since I was probably middle school, high school, and college. Just document it, because that's what the coaches are going to see. Did you have a question there?
I didn't see the camera.
Oh, you didn't see it? Well, now you see it. Okay, so we go from, putting up all those numbers, getting our name out there, to now the CFL knows who I am and they want to give me a contract. How did they even know who I was? Well, I mentioned that I've been documenting everything I do, right? So I was the weird guy that, do you guys get practice film? Do you guys get that? Do your coaches record it? Do you record it? Who does it?
Oh, it's recorded on like our cameras up on our facility.
Okay, and they allow you guys to get that film?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. When I was in high school and college, it was like pulling teeth to try and get your own film. Like the coaches, I think they didn't want other teams to see it or something like that. And they didn't understand that I was trying to use that film to market myself. So your coaches, your mentors, all of those people are going to be in your court. But at the end of the day, only you know how far you want to push this and where you want to go. So if you think that, man, if I put some clips on Huddle, if I put some clips on whatever basketball sites you guys, hockey sites, she's already committed, so I don't know. But it's still going to help you get name brand deals if that's something you're interested in. But essentially, how many different places do you think those coaches are looking? Like, what are your thoughts there?
A good amount of places, a couple for sure. X, which is like the old Twitter. That's probably the main place.
Yeah, that's why I post all my stuff on.
Perfect. So you're already posting on X.
Yeah.
Is everybody here posting on X? Okay, and what are you posting?
Just like each weekend when you have a good weekend, you just post all the highlights and stuff like that.
Perfect. Are you posting any of your training?
Training, not really.
So if I was looking at two recruits and I see this guy has good grades, this guy has good grades, this guy has good highlights, this guy has good highlights, you want to make sure that you give them everything to evaluate you without having to call you because they might be busy. And if you already have your training regimen, you're eating right, you're tracking, how much you're improving, they're going to be like, oh, this guy, like, done deal. I can tell by his portfolio that he's going to be a great fit. So just know that exactly what you're doing is perfect, but there's always more that you can do if you have the capability and the time. So with the CFL, what they saw was all the film that I was gathering from all these coaches. I was putting out my highlights. My teammates weren't happy because some of the highlights were on my teammates. So I might have got a sack, and the O-line guy's like, why would you put that on? I'm sorry, bro, but like, I need them to know I can play. And that's what the CFL actually saw to give me a shot to come play up there in Canada. So then I got to have my dream of playing pro football. I documented that too. So I posted film of me getting sacks in the CFL, and that allowed other CFL teams to still consider me. So it doesn't end. Even though you're committed, you have a school, you might be able to increase your market value by showing how you're training to prep for your college scholarship that you already got. That might encourage other brands that align with your values to actually say, hey, we'd love to endorse what you're doing because you represent hockey so well. All right, so now we'll dive in more on just NIL. Does anybody in here already have an NIL deal?
I had one with Move Insoles.
With who?
Move Insoles.
Move
It's
in
like their-
Insoles.
their
Okay,
swings.
perfect. How did you get that? That's perfect. And he's rocking it. Look at this. This is a commercial. All right, this is awesome.
So my sister went to Stanford, and Move Insoles would like send her like different boxes, and so once I started getting like good at basketball, up more at basketball, Move Insoles like DM'd me on Instagram.
They DM'd you on Instagram, so they found you.
Yeah, and they were saying like, we used to help your sister, stuff like that. So they sent me like a bunch of different insoles, so like some socks and like a little, Jesus, and like a little bit of like money too. So, yeah.
A little bit of money. Okay. Anybody else have anybody sponsoring them outside of parents and family? Okay. So the cool thing is you don't necessarily need to wait for them to DM you. So NIL, just so we have the definition on the same page, basically allows student athletes, used to be college, now even based on the state, high school, to basically profit from their personal brand. So you're still in high school.
Yeah.
So that's crazy. Like, this dude could start just leveraging that and expanding it. And you do this by using your social media. If you have a website, I had a website in high school, okay? So you guys don't have to wait till you're a pro to have your own website showing who you are, what you do, your resume, what brands or what what things that you wear, rock on the field or on the court or on ice. Like these things really matter because it resonates with, hey, if you have a following, you're going to have all these people have their eyes on those insoles. So if he keeps taking off his shoe, man, he should be getting more deals and more commission because of that. And the NCAA is governing these as well as, like we said, the state. So these are some top athletes in basketball. Do you guys know these names?
Yeah.
Okay. Did you already know they were making this much money? Okay. What are your reasons or thoughts on why?
Wait, so Josh Christopher made that in high school?
What's up?
He made that much in high school or college?
I would have to double check when this was pulled.
I believe everybody else made that during their times. Like, I just
Because now, so I think the two players on the left have been in the NBA for like 3 years now.
Oh, really?
So they're definitely
the same age, yeah, but like
That's probably college.
he was, yeah.
He was dead famous in high school.
He was famous in high school.
So this is estimated. So I'd have to go back in.
That's definitely.
That had to have been in college.
5 years
Had to
ago,
be.
not the same.
Well, Jalen Green didn't make. Jalen Green didn't go to
What's the
college.
G League?
He was G League. He made what?
G League, he probably made that.
Yeah, he
He made
definitely
like
made that.
500K.
Yeah, so back then, 500, NIL was.
And then yeah, that makes sense. That's probably definitely college. I can see that.
So the whole thing we're trying to demonstrate here is if you guys have a consistent, post and you build a following and it aligns with what you truly are passionate about, these brand deals will come your way, and you don't necessarily need to be these people because you could be D3 or D2 still making this type of income while you're playing a sport that you love. It's really how are you going to be strategic with branding what you already do today. So these are different brands. Now we're going to maybe speak more about how you can build your brand. If you're going for the heavy hitter brands, you got to understand that you're competing against everybody and they already have their list of people that they're going to reach out to. So what you want to do is start looking locally in your community and seeing what small businesses, what companies that you regularly go to, where do you eat at that isn't like a big chain restaurant, right? Because after your game, after you go get your nutrition, maybe you could say, hey, I would love to work and represent your deal because I'm eating, your protein bars, I'm eating your pre-made meals. Would you like me to give you a shout out on social media, that kind of stuff. So when you do it well with one company, then when you reach out to the next one, you have something to show. Hey, I already did this for this brand. We would love to partner and see how else we could support you because it aligns with my vision. So doing what you love is going to allow you, being passionate about what you love can build your brand. And the reason I have, your slave-in Mrs. Smith here is because today she's getting paid for doing what she loves, and it's based off the brand that she built from, how long have you been playing hockey?
30 years.
30 years. So she's the director of academics today, supporting with academics and athletics, but she was able to do that by creating that name. And even though, right, your family name has its own name, you still can branch off and go in your own directions. Like, she doesn't have to be pro hockey. You guys can leverage what you're doing in your sport, in your education today for where you want to be tomorrow. So today, I'm not playing football, right? I work for a tech company and I leverage my engineering background. But all the branding that I learned from what you'll see here, everything that I put together to kind of show these scouts and agents that I'm like ready to play today is what my company sees. And they're like, man, I love that entrepreneurial spirit. I love that fire. He's going to be able to do that not only for sports, but now you can do that for a business. So yeah, that isn't what I post anymore. All that is still up there, but this is what allowed me to get to where I am today. All right, so I don't really know how much time we have left, but
However much, yeah.
all right. Do you know what time it is?
It's 1:45.
1:45, cool, that's perfect. So yeah, I'll just open it up to questions, whatever I can help or give you guys insight on from my journey and where you want to go. I'm here for you.